Okay, what's up, guys? So, overall, I wanted to update y'all on the guideline strike. Nothing has changed. I have I think one last opportunity to get it fixed. And if nothing happens after this, then yeah, it's pretty much just YouTube messed up and they wrongfully gave me a strike. So, anyways, but for those that are new to the situation and you don't know what's going on, so about 3 4 weeks ago, YouTube had gave me a guideline strike for a reaction video that I uploaded 3 years ago. And what's crazy is that the video that I reacted to is still up on YouTube, and other people's reaction videos are still up on YouTube. So I was mistreated. I was mistreated. And I remember somebody had tried saying like, well, the strike was rightfully. No, it was not. Anybody in my situation will very well be saying the same exact thing that I'm saying right now. And my thing is that if you reacted to a video and your video gets taken down, but the original video is still up, how would that make you feel? Like that's just my question. Because I was yesterday I was talking to a YouTube representative about another situation. So to talk on this other situation, YouTube delayed my payment, and so I have not been paid by YouTube. Luckily, a lot of my bills were like, they were already paid, but they're, I don't have to pay them until like after a certain day, which is, thank God, like, it wasn't a couple of days ago, because yeah, they're a couple of days late on my payment. And I'm hoping, because it's midnight right now, so I'm hoping later on today, I guess, they pay me. But when I was talking to a representative, because I was overall talking to him about the payment situation. I'm like, forget the guideline strike. Where's my money? Because I'm like, that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. So I was talking to him about it, and he was overall saying that it was a bank issue. And I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, my bank doesn't usually mess up on things like this. So I'm like, yeah, if I don't really see anything from YouTube, then, because I'm like, it still says on Google AdSense that the payment is still like pending. So that leads me to think that this is a YouTube thing. I went to my bank account numerous times. I didn't see no pending. Usually now, if it was a bank thing, and that's what I should have brought up to the person, whoever it was, but I didn't, because I was more so like on the whole, like, I realized that this is a person that I'm talking to, so I'm like, okay, I might have a chance with this strike thing. But it came off as like I wasn't even talking to a person. It seemed like I was talking to a robot or something while I was talking to an agent. But anyways, but yeah, so I was talking to them about the payment thing, and for some odd reason they was just all like, oh yeah, it's a bank thing. But I'm like, usually on the bank it would say pending. If it's a bank thing, it shouldn't still say pending on Google AdSense. So that's just, to me, just doesn't, really make any sense. But yeah, I was like, all right, I guess I'll wait and see and things. But then they was also saying that, oh, it's probably because it falls on a weekend day, and I'm like, there's been other times when like my payment thing has fallen on weekend days, and it wasn't like late or delayed or anything. So that's why I'm like, I don't understand. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'll wait until later on today. But if nothing hasn't happened, I'm like, I'm going, yes, I'll contact my bank. And if they're like, no, this is a YouTube thing, I'm like, okay, they're saying that it's you guys. So I'm like, that something's not right here. But I'm like, I just know at the end of the day, I need to have my money so I can pay my bills and stuff. I'm like, it's kind of messed up how it's like they'll do that to a person. I'm like, this hasn't happened no other time, and it kind of leads me to think like, does this have something to do with the strike? I don't know. Maybe it's just me being paranoid. But anyways, talking on the strike. So I asked this agent person, can you help me on this strike situation? They said yeah, and they asked me to send them the video. I sent it to them. They took maybe like 10 15 minutes to review the video numerous times. And then they reached back out to me saying like, oh, the video went against the guidelines and stuff. And that's the thing where I'm like, I'm more so trying to like figure out what part of my video went against the guidelines. Like, I know it couldn't have been the whole video. I know it had to be an actual specific part of the video that went against the guidelines. If it was the whole video, then my thing is like, how come your guys' system didn't determine the other reaction videos or even the main video itself? Like, cause other people's reaction videos and the original video itself is still on YouTube. The original video has like millions of views. Other people's video has thousands of views. And if I didn't mention it before, I mention it now for the first time. My video only had 370 views. So my video wasn't like it was the most viewed video or it was on top of the search bar when you look for the video. It had to been either at the very bottom or like right below the now like I guess least viewed reaction video to this video. But I'm like, I don't understand how my video gets taken down before the original video and other people's reactions. And whoever I was talking to just wasn't acknowledging that at all. So I asked them, and this I was just like, no, because I'm curious. I'm all like, okay, worker to worker. If this was you, if put yourself in my shoes, if you were in this situation, how would that make you feel? Like, would you be doing the same thing that I'm doing right now? Then they sent me some other stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. But how would you feel if you was given a strike, a warning, you was written up for something that it didn't even go against the guidelines. You see all these other people doing it, but you get singled out. You get pointed out. And they write you up or fire you or suspend you, whatever you want to consider it as, or however it will work out in your job. But you get a punishment for something that literally everybody else was doing, but you get in trouble for it. And I was like, and I asked them that, and they just was all like, I'm pretty much said like, oh, I'm not allowed to discuss stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, well, overall, I'm like, I know I'm right in this situation because I'm like, you can reach out to me personally if you wanted to, but I'm like, yeah, I think just by that answer, what they were telling me, I'm like, yeah, they know that I'm in the right here. And it's like, and whoever this person, I wasn't overall like trying to pin it on them to help me and things. I told them, I'm like, look, I understand, like, like this isn't your job to do to take this strike off of my channel, but I'm just curious on like how it then make you feel. Like, what would you do in a situation like this? But yeah, pretty much they wasn't allowed to answer that question. So I gave up on it and was just like, and they said that I should be getting an email from some internal team member. And I'm like, okay, like, can somebody help me out on this situation? Because I just don't think, and I'm all like, and I want to like, at this point now, I want to talk to a person like face to face. I feel like the whole like internet stuff, because I don't know, it's not even more so. I know people would be thinking that, oh, he's going to probably be all violent or being an angry black man in front of them. No, I just feel more comfortable talking to a person face to face about my issues. Because even when I was at my old job, when something was going down, I wasn't typing or writing emails or sending text message. No, if there was something going on with one of the managers, I would sit down, have a conversation with them and let them know like, hey, what's going on here ain't cool. So I'm like, yeah, I'm a more of a confronting type person, but I'm not an angry black man. So I'm like, I don't want people to assume that of me and things. But no, I just want to know that I'm talking to a person, because it seems like that I'm just talking to a bunch of just generated robots and they're just giving me generated answers and stuff. And I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to no robot. I want to talk to an actual legitimate person. Who's the CEO of YouTube? Her name is Susan. Let me talk to her, because I'm like, I'm curious on how she would feel in a situation like that. Like I'm curious on things like that, because I'm like, yo, it's just, to me, it just doesn't really make any sense how I'm getting punished for something. And I'm like, I didn't even do anything. And then if we're talking on the video, so pretty much the video is titled "The Gasoline Wake Up Prank." No gasoline was being used throughout the video. Before people judge a book by its cover, there was no gasoline being used in the video. There was like some like gasoline scented whatever it was, and it smelled like gasoline. I don't think it exactly was like somebody poured gasoline on it to make it. I think it smelled similar to gasoline. And what was in the gas can was water. So my thing was, and I was like, I didn't want to ask whoever this agent person was. I didn't want to ask them that, because I'm like, it ain't really. I tried to keep the conversation professional, but I figured, okay, you know what, conversation's almost over, so I might as well ask them that one last question, like, how would they make you feel if you was in my shoes? They didn't want to answer it. Oh well. But my thing was is that what I really wanted to, if I was an unprofessional angry black man, my question to them would be, so do you take showers? Do you wash your hands? Do you drink H2O? Because if you do, you will understand that pouring H2O on you is not dangerous. It could be dangerous if it's boiling hot or like frostbite cold. But if it's like room temperature water, this is somewhat cold because I just got out of the refrigerator. But anyways, yeah, refrigerator water. If somebody were to pour this on me, yes, it will be cold. And I'm like, oh man, I'm cold right now. I'm reacting to cold water. That wasn't that situation. It was room temperature water just being poured on somebody. and they had the illusion that it was gasoline, and they considered that video being harmful and dangerous. I'm like, okay, well then I guess taking a shower can be harmful and dangerous, drinking water can be harmful and dangerous, and washing your hands can be harmful and dangerous. But I'm like, it's that's something that I guess they will understand. I'll never understand that. I'm all like, you guys, I don't know. I'm like, something just doesn't seem right here, but I'll try to get to the bottom of it, I guess, but I don't know. No guarantees. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. I just wanted to update y'all on the situation and let you guys know what's going on. Still haven't gotten the strike lifted up off of my channel. I talked to an agent, but that wasn't, really no help. I was being polite and positive with the agent because I'm like, there's not like a whole lot that you can do, but I do appreciate, I guess, like just the comfort, I guess, that was being given to me and things. But what else? Yeah, that was pretty much about it. Everything that I discussed in this video. But yeah, talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace.